You are going to love making these no-sew felt Christmas napkin rings for your holiday table. I made mine to look like poinsettias, so I'm using red and green felt. Print off a copy of this pattern, and then we're going to cut it out on the outside solid lines in order to make the poinsettia flowers. If you want to make a lot of these, you might want to make it on cardstock or even cardboard if you wanted to, because we're going to take these patterns and draw around them on our felt. I think that kids would like to help with this. It would not be difficult for them as long as they have good cutting skills. So this might be good for your older kids to cut the felt, and if you have younger ones, they can help put it together. But all ages could help with this in some way. I love sitting around the table and doing this kind of project together as a family. So with the pattern all cut out, we're going to transfer this onto our felt. Now I didn't mean to do this, but when I pulled my felt out of my scrap box, I have 3 different colors of the red, but one solid color would also work fine. So let's draw around our patterns. My grandkids love using felt when they come to my house, so I have all kinds of little scraps that I try to use up, but I just buy felt by the piece like this. There's all kinds of colors if you go to a craft store. I use a ballpoint pen to draw around my pattern and transfer it because it's so easy to see. There you can see where my grandkids have been cutting out of my felt, so it makes me think of them when I come and use my felt, which makes me happy. So I just draw around each pattern piece with my pen, and if you have kids that aren't patient with doing this over and over, you could have these ready for them to cut out when they come to your house. And out of the green, I'm going to cut the one leaf pattern. I just hold it in place. I don't pin it or anything. I just hold it with my fingers and draw around it. And again, you could pin it on if that was easier for you. I think from start to finish, you could probably make one of these in about 10 minutes, and then you'd have your pattern, and the second one would go even faster. Time to cut our pattern pieces out of the felt. So this really works better with the good scissors. This piece is kind of funny shaped, but it will be the part that actually is the ring that will go around our napkin, this long part right here. So if you have a larger napkin that's maybe made out of linen or cloth and it rolls up larger than your paper napkin, you could just make this a little bit longer. And that would be easy to do by cutting your pattern piece and extending it by maybe an inch or so. So it might be good to make one example first, try your napkin in it, and make sure that it's long enough for your bulkier napkin. I use paper napkins most of the time when I have company, so they roll up pretty small. I'll show you in a minute. I think I first saw this craft many years ago when my mother-in-law made them for our Christmas table. I'm pretty sure that's where I got this pattern from. So lastly, I'll cut out the leaves. All right, with all of the pattern pieces cut out, the next thing that I'm going to do is to cut the slits that are going to be in all of the petal and leaf pieces. There's no slit in this center piece, but if you'll notice, these pattern pieces have slits on them. So we're going to start with the leaf pattern, and it's about 1 inch long, and it's in the center of this pattern. So I'm just going to fold it in half and make a little slit that's about 1/2 inch long in the center. I can kind of gauge that by holding this on here if that's helpful. Just cut about 1/2 inch slit, and that's going to be what we place this centerpiece through in a minute. Now the next piece I'm going to put on here is also going to have a slit in it, but I don't want them all sitting on top of each other like this. That won't be interesting. It won't look like a flower. So I'm going to put this one on here like this and cut the slit in this one this direction. So I'll still be using this pattern, but it's going to go on this direction. So I'm going to fold my pattern or my petal in half this direction and cut a 1/2 inch slit on this one as well. Like that. And that one's going to sit on top of here like that. And then I want this last petal to be in between these petals, so it just looks more like a flower. You can see the difference if I put them one on top of the other or if I go this direction. So now I'm going to want a slit that's cut this direction in this set of petals. So I'm going to fold it in half and cut a 1/2 inch slit in the middle. Right, so now they all line up, and you can see that that slit goes all the way through all 3 pieces. So now with all of those slits lined up, and I think that looks really nice with the petals back and forth the way they are, we're going to take that last piece, that funny looking long piece, and this is going to fold in half and then poke up through this slit. So we just pull those 2 knob ends through the slit and separate them out a little so they look a little bit like center petals. And the back side makes the loop that we put the napkin in, and that is all there is to it. So it's pretty easy to do, and that's why I think even the littles can help you with this part, even if they're not able to cut the felt yet. Okay, so let's put this together. We're going to take one of our napkins and let's roll it up as small as you can so it fits easily through that little loop in the back of the napkin ring. And then once it's in there, it will kind of relax a little bit, kind of fill that space up. So this fits really well on a paper napkin. And again, you may need to make this a little longer for a larger linen or cloth napkin. So now you're ready to set your table. Doesn't that add such a beautiful splash of color? The No Sew Felt Christmas Napkin Rings for your holiday table will surely be a hit. For more craft ideas, come on over to welcometonanas.com. Come and join the fun.